This city didn't just fall. It was left behind. No screams, no heroes, no victory, just silence that feels wrong, like something is still watching. The streets are empty, but not in a peaceful way. Cars are crushed into each other like toys. Buildings are torn open as if something ripped through them without slowing down. Dust still floats in the air, catching the light of a weak sun that barely breaks through the smoke. There are signs of people everywhere, phones lying on the ground, doors left open, a child's backpack sitting alone near the sidewalk, but there are no people. It feels like the world stopped in the middle of a moment and never restarted. Somewhere in the distance, a broken alarm keeps ringing over and over, like it doesn't realize no one is left to hear it. The wind moves through the empty streets, pushing papers and ash across the ground, creating a soft, haunting sound that fills the silence instead of breaking it. This isn't the kind of destruction that comes from a single fight. This is something bigger, something that didn't just win. It erased hope. Far above the city, the sky looks normal at first, but if you stare long enough, you notice something is off. The clouds don't move the way they should. The air feels heavy, like it's holding its breath. There's a strange stillness, like the world is waiting for something else to happen. A shadow passes quickly across the buildings, too fast too. Understand, gone before it can be seen clearly. It doesn't make a sound, it doesn't leave a trace, but it feels wrong, like whatever caused all this destruction isn't finished yet. The silence becomes heavier with every second, pressing down on everything, making it hard to even imagine life returning to this place. This isn't just the aftermath of a battle. It feels like the beginning of something worse. Inside one of the damaged buildings, the walls are cracked and the floor is covered in dust and broken glass. Light slips through the gaps, creating long shadows that stretch across the room. There are signs that people tried to hide here, chairs pushed against doors. Supplies scattered across the floor, but it didn't help. The air is still thick with the weight of what happened. Every small sound feels louder than it should, the creak of a broken beam, the distant echo of something falling far away. It feels like the building itself is remembering what happened, holding onto the fear that filled it not long ago. Nothing moves now, but it doesn't feel safe. It feels like danger is still close, just out of sight, waiting. The world outside doesn't react. There are no rescue teams rushing in, no voices calling out, no signs that help is coming. It's like this place has been forgotten. The destruction stretches further than the eye can see, reaching beyond the city. Beyond what anyone could fix quickly. And that's what makes it worse. This isn't a moment that will pass. This is something that changes everything. Whatever happened here didn't just break buildings, it broke the feeling that things could go back to normal. And somewhere, unseen, the cause of all this is still out there, and it's not done yet. Mark sits alone, far from what's left of the city, high above the clouds where no one can see him. His suit is torn, stained with dried blood that isn't all his. The wind rushes past him, loud and endless, but it doesn't clear his mind. He keeps staring at his hands like they don't belong to him anymore. They're shaking slightly, not from pain, but from something deeper he can't control. He tries to close them into fists, tries to steady himself, but the feeling doesn't go away. It's not fear exactly. It's something heavier, something that stays even when the danger is gone. His breathing is uneven, slow at first, then suddenly too fast. Like his body can't decide if it's safe to rest. He shuts his eyes for a moment, but that only makes it worse. Quick flashes hit him without warning, faces, voices. Moments he can't escape. A building collapsing before he could stop it. Someone reaching out for help just a second too late. The sound of impact, over and over again. He opens his eyes quickly, trying to push it away. But the silence around him only makes those memories louder. There's no battle now, no noise to drown them out, just him and everything he couldn't fix. He used to believe that being strong was enough, that if he pushed harder, moved faster, fought longer, he could save everyone. That belief feels distant now, almost childish. The truth sits heavy in his chest. Strength didn't stop this. It didn't protect the people who needed him. And the worst part is, he knows he was there. He was part of it. Maybe not by choice. Maybe not fully in control, but it doesn't change the outcome. The damage is real. The loss is real. And deep down, he can't shake the thought that if he were different, if he were better, things might have ended another way. A faint sound pulls him back, a distant echo from below, like the world is slowly trying to wake up again. But he doesn't move. He doesn't rush to help like he used to, for the first time. There's hesitation, not because he doesn't care, but because he doesn't trust himself the way he once did. Every decision now feels heavier, like one wrong move could make everything worse. He looks down toward the city, his expression unreadable, caught somewhere between determination and doubt. This is new for him, the pause, the second-guessing. It's not weakness. But it feels close enough to scare him. He drifts lower, slowly, almost unwillingly, as if gravity itself is pulling him back into a role he's no longer sure he deserves. The closer he gets, the clearer the damage becomes. Streets he once flew over without a second thought now feel unfamiliar, almost hostile. Every broken structure is a reminder. Every empty space where people should be is a question he can't answer. He lands softly, barely making a sound, and just stands there for a moment, taking it all in. No one is cheering. No one is calling his name. There's no relief in his arrival this time. Mark takes a step forward, then stops again. His jaw tightens as he looks around, trying to focus on what needs to be done instead of what's already lost. But it's hard. The weight doesn't lift. It stays with him. Pressing down with every breath, he knows he can't stay frozen like this. People might still need him. The world hasn't ended. Not yet. But something inside him has changed, and he can feel it clearly now. The confidence that once drove him forward without hesitation is gone, replaced by something more fragile, more uncertain. Still, he moves slowly at first, then with a bit more purpose, not because he feels ready, but because he knows stopping completely isn't an option. That's the line he hasn't crossed. No matter how heavy it feels, no matter how much doubt fills his mind, he keeps going. But this version of him is different, quieter, more careful. And somewhere deep inside, there's a growing fear that the next time he faces something like this, he might not be able to hold it together at all. The world outside doesn't see him the way it used to. Civilians whisper behind closed doors, their eyes filled with fear and uncertainty. The news channels repeat the same images over and over, showing the destruction, the chaos, the cost of the battles they barely understand. Is he even safe? One anchor asks, voice shaking. Can anyone be safe with him around? Headlines flash across screens. Hero or threat, the fall of Invincible. How much is too much? Mark's face appears in some of them, but only as a symbol, not a person, and image tied to both hope and fear. He's no longer just a hero. He's a question, a problem the world doesn't know how to deal with. Even in the places that once cheered his victories, people look over their shoulders, wondering if he will arrive too late, or worse, bring destruction with him. Government agencies are shifting too. And the soldiers who once coordinated with him now treat his presence as a liability. Orders come through radios, not to aid him, but to monitor him. Strategies are drawn up not to protect civilians, but to contain the power he carries. Briefings mention his strength, his speed, his potential, but also the danger of unpredictability. In meetings behind closed doors, officials debate options: diplomacy, surveillance, intervention. No one knows if they can trust him, and that uncertainty spreads like wildfire. The very people he once fought alongside now view him as a risk, not a savior. And the pressure isn't just external. Mark can feel it pressing against him, shaping every thought, every hesitation, every breath. Even friends and family are fractured. Eve moves with cautious steps around him, her eyes wary, her tone careful. Cecil keeps his distance, speaking less and choosing words more deliberately, as if one wrong comment could unravel everything. There are moments of silence heavier than any confrontation, and Mark feels each one like a weight. He doesn't blame them entirely, he can't. The world has changed, and he has changed with it. He remembers how it used to be, laughter, trust, the sense that together they could face anything. Now, even standing in the same room, those connections feel fragile, like glass stretched thin, ready to shatter at the slightest pressure. At night, when the city sleeps or pretends to, Mark watches from rooftops, trying to piece together the state of the world he promised to protect. The streets are quiet, but the silence carries whispers, sirens far off, doors locking, the subtle sound of life hiding from the threats they can't name. People glance upward sometimes, catching a glimpse of him in the sky, a shadow moving across the moonlight. Some feel relief, some feel fear, and every time that happens, Mark feels it to a reminder that being a hero isn't about saving people from danger alone. It's about managing their trust, their fear,